Welcome back to the Cumbie Show. We tell it is when we'll carry you feel. And up on deck today, we have our last game to talk about for the second round of the playoffs, and that is none other than the Orange Bowl. Oregon taking on Texas Tech. Both of these two teams coming into this game at 12-1. This game is scheduled for this Thursday, New Year's Day. It is a noon kickoff. Obviously, Texas Tech is your Big 12 champions, and Oregon is coming into this game as a 2.5-point favorite, so less than a field goal, and the over-under for this game is 52.5. I am recording this on a Sunday night, so that line may move as we get closer, but that's where we sit at right now. So, what do we think is going to happen in this game? I'll be honest, I think this is probably the toughest game to predict what's going to happen in the second round. Kind of the way I felt about the rematch of the Alabama-Oklahoma game in the first round. I thought that was by far the hardest game to predict, and it went the exact opposite of how I thought it was going to go. So, if you're a gambling man and you want to make some money, I would probably bet the exact opposite of what I'm about to say in this video. But what do we think is going to happen? Who do we think is going to win? How do we think these teams are going to perform? We'll start with Texas Tech. Obviously, they are your Big 12 champions. They beat BYU in the championship, coming into this game at 12-1. And I'll be honest with you, I did not pay enough attention to Texas Tech throughout the regular season. I did not give them enough credit. I kind of overlooked them. Wasn't really too focused on them up until the last couple weeks of the season. I kind of counted them out. I'm like, oh, Texas Tech from the Big 12? Yeah, okay, whatever. They'll probably get in if the ACC doesn't get in. That's how I felt about this team. But how I was wrong. This Texas Tech team is legitimate, and there's a reason they're in the playoffs. This defense for Texas Tech is playing grown man physical football, especially up front. There's a reason Texas Tech is in this playoffs, and it starts with their defense. Their defense is lights out. Like I said, they played BYU. They played BYU twice this season. Beat them in the regular season, then beat them in the conference championship to win Big 12 champions. They gave up 7 points each game. So 7 points in the first game, 7 points in the championship game. They only gave up a touchdown both games. This defense for Texas Tech is smothering. And, I mean, they got that David Bailey is his name, 13.5 sacks. This linebacker group for Texas Tech is elite. They are great. They're going to be playing on Sundays here in a couple years. But David Bailey is by far their best linebacker on the team. He's got 13.5 sacks by himself. This man has more sacks by himself than some teams do throughout the whole season, which is crazy. And then you flip it over to their offense, and their offense is very balanced. They are a very balanced offense. Braheen Morton, I think that's how you say his first name, Braheen. He, the quarterback for Texas Tech, he's got 2,643 yards on the season, 22 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. So I love the touchdown to interception ratio. He's not turning the ball over a lot, and he's sitting at around 67 completion percentage. So what that tells me is that this man protects the ball, and he's accurate with his passing. And then you look at their star running back at Dickey. Love the name, Dickey. He's sitting at over 1,000 yards for the season, 14 touchdowns, and the man is averaging 5.5 yards every time he gets the ball. So very, very balanced offense for this Texas Tech team. And what did I just say? They have a great defense, smothering defense, and a balanced offense. Those are the two things you want that is going to lead you to success if you want to win the national championship. Balanced offense, great defense. You do not want to become one-dimensional on offense, because if the opponent's defense can just sit back and tee it up on you, you become way too predictable. Yeah, tough game. So I like what I see. Obviously, their one loss, which it was a bad loss. And don't get me wrong, they do have a 26-22 loss against Arizona State. I'm not going to sit here and make an excuse for it. It was a bad loss. Arizona State is not a good team. They're not. So kind of head-scratching loss there with the way that this Texas Tech team played throughout the rest of the season before that game and after. But I do like what I see from this Texas Tech defense. I think that is going to be the story of this game. Now, flipping it over to Oregon, I am absolutely in love with their offense. Their offense is a high-powered, quick scoring offense. They can put up points, and they can put up points in a hurry. I feel like you could watch a game, and the game would be tied 7-7. You go to the kitchen to get you a drink. You come back, and next thing you know, it's 21-7. You're like, what the hell? I just turned away. This offense can score and score quick. And the one thing I also like about this offense, which I just gave Texas Tech credit for, this offense for Oregon is also extremely balanced. I feel like most people think, when they think of Oregon, they think of this high-scoring, fast-paced, air the ball out, nonstop, air raid offense, and that's not them. While they do have a weapon at quarterback in Dante Moore, they've also got a double-headed running back duo that I think is absolutely dangerous. I just mentioned Dante Moore. 28 touchdowns, 8 interceptions on the season. Now, I do not like the 8 interceptions. He needs to be more careful and protect the ball more. Throwing into way too many tight windows. I feel like sometimes he tries to play Superman football. He wants to get everything in one throw. I feel like that's kind of been his issue this season. But 28 touchdowns. The man is sitting at a 72.4 completion percentage. He's passed for over 3,000 yards. Great numbers for him. And then I just mentioned their running back room. There are two-headed monster that I like to think of. Noah Whittingham, or Whittington, not Whittingham, Whittington. 798 yards, 6 touchdowns, and every time this man touches the ball, he is averaging 6.9 yards a carry. This man is getting almost 7 yards every time he gets the ball. And then Jordan Davison, their second running back, 625 yards, 13 touchdowns, and he himself is averaging 6.4 yards a ton. So basically every time they hand the ball off to the running back, they're getting 7 yards. They're staying well above the sticks. And then you got that in your running back room, and then a quarterback that is an absolute weapon at times. I really like this offense for Oregon. Now, the thing I'm concerned about for this Oregon team is their defense. Their defense has been susceptible this season to giving up a lot of points. We go back to their first game of the first college football playoff, the first round of the college football playoff. They played JMU. The amount of points that this defense gave up in the second half, that did make me a little nervous. Now, say what you want to say. I understand it was, 34-3, 34 to something. Oregon was winning by 30-plus points going into half and coming out at halftime. They're probably thinking, hey, we got this game in the bag. Let's just be smart. We don't want to get any major injuries, advancing to the second round. But you still gave up 34 points in the second half against JMU. That's got me a little concerned. My biggest concern for Oregon is their defense. I have no bones, no issues about their offense. I think they'll be able to put up points, but I'm a little worried about their defense. How well can their defense do through 4 quarters? Not the first quarter, not the second quarter, not the first half, not 3.5 quarters. Through 4 full quarters, can this defense hold up and push around a very physical team in Texas Tech? Very curious to see. Now, we also have to be honest with ourselves. I went back and I looked at who these teams have played. Obviously, Oregon has a much more difficult schedule than Texas Tech. They have the 1 loss at home. They have a 10-point loss against Indiana. But looking at Texas Tech, they're coming into this playoff. Besides JMU and Tulane, they have the lowest strength of schedule coming in to this playoff, sitting at 54. So their best wins are against BYU. Now, they are doing exactly what a good team should be doing when they're playing opponents that aren't on the same level as them. They're winning, and they're winning in a convincing fashion. They can't help who they play. They can't help how the situation that the Big 12 is in currently right now. So give them credit. While, yes, I don't think their schedule is the most challenging, when your hardest game is BYU, you give them credit because they're winning those games, and they're winning them in ways that they should. So that's also got me a little worried for Texas Tech. I want to see what they're going to be able to do against the big dogs of the sport, and I do think Oregon is a big dog of the sport. Who do I think is going to win this game? I kind of went back and forth on this game. I don't think enough people are talking about this Oregon offense. I don't think they're talking about it enough. It's very difficult for me to make a decision. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I think this is probably one of the more difficult games to predict. Out of all the other games, I'm very confident in the Georgia-Ole Miss game, and I'm fairly confident in the other two games. I wouldn't be surprised 2 wins in the others. But this one, I went back and forth. For a while, I was Texas Tech when I first saw this matchup, and the more I looked at it and kind of rewatched some film, watched some of the tape, kind of started to lean more towards Oregon just because of their offense. And the one thing that got me to pick, and I'm just telling you right now, I'm taking Oregon. I'm taking Oregon to win this game. And the one reason why I'm taking Oregon is because I really love what this offense can do. I think they can put up a lot of points. And while, though, that defense struggled in the second half against JMU in the first round, I don't think they're going to bring that same defense into this game. I think they understand what is at stake, and I think they know they got to play better, and I think they will play better on the defensive side in this second round against Texas Tech. And I am still concerned if Texas Tech is going to be able to have what it takes to compete for 4 full quarters against a team that is Oregon. Now, no disrespect to Texas Tech. I think they're a great team, and I would not at all be shocked if they won this game. I would not be shocked if they somehow found a way to make it to the national championship. I wouldn't. But with their strength of schedule and who they played, I think that this Oregon team, especially on offense, is going to be a little bit too much. I don't expect it to be extremely high scoring, but I am going to take Oregon to win this game. I'm going to take them to cover the 2.5 points. The 52.5, I'm going to take the over. I'm going to take the over, the 52.5. I think that Oregon could probably get to the low 30s, and I kind of expect Texas Tech to hang around the low 20s. I'm kind of looking at and I know most people are going to be shocked that I'm predicting this separation of the score, but I think Oregon wins by 10. I think it's probably a 31-33 to about 24 type game. I just really like what this Oregon offense can do. Can this Texas Tech defense slow this Oregon offense down? Like I said in the beginning of this video, that is the story of this game. If Texas Tech defense can come in here and slow down Dante Moore and limit their run game for Oregon and force them into situations where they're going to become predictable, force them into 3rd and long situations, Texas Tech has a legitimate shot at winning this game, and they will win this game if they're able to do that. I just don't know if they're going to be able to do that for 4 full quarters. So give me the Ducks to beat Texas Tech. They're going to advance to play the winner of Alabama and Indiana. Cannot wait. If you are interested in any of the other previews, I have done a preview and prediction video of all the other second-round games, the Georgia-Ole Miss, like I said, the Indiana-Alabama, and the Ohio State-Miami game. Go check out that Ohio State-Miami game. You don't even have to watch the full video. Just look at the comments. It'll prove why Ohio State has the worst fans. Absolutely hilarious if you want a good chuckle. But either way, let me get done talking here. I'm taking Oregon to win this game, to beat Texas Tech. Let me know what you think down in the comments. If you think I'm right, if you think I'm wrong, who knows? We'll see. It's going to be a great game no matter what. Other than that, over and out.